Hey, I want to have a heart-to-heart chat with you guys because I had a conversation about dyslexia with a bunch of my friends. Because for those who don't know, I mildly dyslexic. I am a neurodivergent, and I know this not because I've been diagnosed, because I grew up in the 90s. These things are seen as taboo, but because of my medical background, in fact, I studied neuroscience as part of my biomedical science degree because I really wanted to understand how the human mind works. And yeah, in a word of some of my really, really close friends, my brain is kind of fucked up, but in a good way. So yeah, I'm proud of that. And one of the things that I talked about on LinkedIn, I mentioned dyslexia quite a lot, and I said that I've seen quite a few people using AI as a way of hiding their dyslexia so that, they sound more normal. Now, one of the things that I did with myself as a dyslexic individual is that I embraced it. For some reason, my entire life, I was always the sort of person who just basically went against the crowd. So if I see the crowd running in that direction, I'll be the guy that goes the opposite direction, because I just don't care about what other people do, what other people think. And in fact, one of the reasons I suppose I'm building Nebula the way I am, because it's the way I feel it's the right way of doing business in the world of tech, and especially when it comes to AI. So unlike 99.9% of other startups that run after investor funds, I decided to walk away from investor funds. Now, granted, I've done it before, and because I followed the crowd and did what everybody else told me should be done, things kind of didn't work out the way I would have liked them to work out. So even though I had actually a good experience, and indeed I did have some successes as well, but generally it was just not my journey. You know what I mean? Like, I followed the crowd. It's just not how I think. It's not how my brain operates. So one of the reasons why I enjoy doing what I do with Nebula, and in fact my team does the same thing, is that because we have that freedom to innovate and freedom to do things differently. And that kind of, triggered a few discussions with my friends in terms of the research that has been published, like various research studies have been published over the years, where they're showing that the dyslexic way of thinking, in fact, is the true creative way of thinking. In fact, when you look at some of the highly creative individuals, they are indeed neurodivergent, right? My son, for example, is an actor, and I've seen a lot of the other kids that act with him, and they all don't behave like normal people, as you would probably define them. But when you see them on stage and the stuff that they do on stage is truly unbelievable. It's like out of this world. You think, where does that come from? And this is the kind of debate that I think it's important that we, all of us as humans, have when it comes to AI, because we talk about AI as an intelligent, or even some people have the audacity to say that generative AI is creative, or even more creative than humans. Really? Are you sure about that? Because I can tell you, it's not. I mean, go to ChatGPT or to Nano or to Claude or whatever, and just look at the quality of the answers. Please tell me, how is that creative? It's not creative, because all it does, it simply regurgitates the content that it's been downloaded from the web, which was created by whom? Us humans, including some of the creative work that, of course, there's that debate about who owns the copyright. In my opinion, if you create anything online, it belongs to you. If somebody wants it, they should tell you or even pay you, right? That's my opinion. But some VCs and indeed some startups don't think that that's the case. Well, let's see. Let's see what the lawyers say. But generally speaking, a lot of the content and the intelligence that the Gen AI models have is built on content that's been created by creative people and put it online. So when you see the quality of human creativity by people like myself, or people who are even more creative than myself, and you look at the quality of the AI, it's nowhere near as good, because it is not creative. It simply regurgitates the creation of other people. I think that's really important to understand. And in fact, one of the areas that we're looking at in terms of our research at Nebula is that we want to see, well, can we make AI more creative? What does that involve? How do we make it effectively neurodivergent? And that's a crazy, crazy way of thinking about it. And to be honest with you, we haven't figured this one out. It's something that I think is interesting. Now, Will AI ever be creative in the same way as humans? I have no idea. I don't think so. Maybe not in our lifetime. But certainly it will have the ability to start to catch up with our creativity. But right now, when you look at some of the, for example, the image that is generated by, things like Midjourney or DALL-E, it does involve a level of creativity, not from the AI, but from the people that ask you to generate a particular picture. And in fact, when you see people who are not creative using, say, DALL-E, all of them come up with exactly the same kind of quality, almost sort of stock photo type quality photos or images that is just crap. Whereas when you see artists using AI to generate images, it's really cool. Really, really cool. So again, that human creativity, that dyslexic way of thinking, or the neurodivergent way of thinking, actually will make AI generate better quality content. So the bottom line here is that if you want creativity, you still need humans, not AI. But AI can absolutely empower people who are neurodivergent. I said it on LinkedIn, and I'm going to say it again. I'm not using AI to hide my weakness. Oh no, I'm using it to empower it and showcase it. That's what you need to do. If you have that, don't be ashamed. I know some people might say to you, "Oh, Tim, you're weird," or blah, 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 right? People told me this all my life. You know what? Great. I love it. If you like it, great. If you don't like it, I don't care. I really don't, like I just said, right? You can fuck off. Simple. That's my attitude in life. You should have the same. So, AI-wise, before I go on a tangent, I think there's definitely an interesting idea to explore here. How can you make AI models neurodivergent? Yeah. I'll keep you posted on this one. Peace.